What's going on, people? This is John Pimney back with another sports reaction. Before the start of the video, just remember to like and subscribe and just keep this channel going. Just keep it going and just building it, and just continue to get your favorite content about the Chicago Bears from me, John Pipney. And to officially start this video off, the Bears is coming off the bye week after 4 miserable losses. After starting off 5-1, now dropping to 5-5. They are facing the Green Bay Packers, who is coming off a heartbreaking loss after leading basically majority of the game against the Indianapolis Colts and losing in overtime 34-31. And the Green Bay Packers are looking to rebound against the Bears, and the Bears is finally trying to get another win to try to keep their playoff hopes alive. I will be doing a breakdown of the top 5 offensive players for each team and the top 3 defensive players for each team that will impact the game the most and need to be the most critical parts of the game that will favor both teams in victory. But due to the fact that Matt Nagy has yet to name a starter for Sunday night's game against the Green Bay Packers, I'm going to have to read off both players' stats. I'm going to start off with Nick Foles, who is 202 out of 311 passes. He has completed 65% of his passes, 1,852 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And then a stat line I haven't read since week 3, and that is Mitchell Trubisky. He is 51 of 86, only completed 59% of his passes up to that point for 560 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Now, Coach Nagy did say that the progress that Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky make basically in recovering from the injuries will be the key determining factor on who will start that game for the Bears. So I'm basically believing that it's going to be most likely Mitchell Trubisky. He has the better legs. And only thing Nick Foles really have over Trubisky is slightly better decision-making skills, slightly better, and a slightly better deep ball. Everything else is the same type of throws that Mr. Trubisky can make. So I really don't know why is Matt Nagy hesitating and taking so long just to make the decision. Now, I'm pretty sure Mitchell Trubisky is really not as hurt as they say he was. They just wanted people to stop talking about putting him in. But Nick Foles' injury is more dire, and I don't think that he should continue to keep playing with that type of hip injury before he wind up getting seriously hurt and his career possibly be over, because the man can barely move anyway as it is. So him getting hurt, the man mess around and be in a wheelchair. The man already move as fast as a 65-year-old man, so it's really not going to make too much of a difference unless you put in Mitchell Trubisky that can avoid the rush. But back to the breakdown. Now, David Montgomery did return to practice. I don't know for sure if he is going to be able to play, but I believe most likely he is. And his stat line so far is 131 carries for 472 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 3.6 yards per carry due to the offensive line just being that much, just oh so terrible. And also, he does have 30 receptions for 212 receiving yards, 7.1 yards per reception, and he also has 1 receiving touchdown as well. Up next, you have Allen Robinson, who has just been everything for the Bears. I've been hearing some rumors that he might not re-sign with the Bears. Hopefully those rumors are not true, and hopefully he just re-signs with the Bears, because the Bears definitely needs him. And so far this season, he has 63 receptions for 755 yards, 12 yards per reception. He only has 3 receiving touchdowns, but everyone knows why he doesn't have more touchdowns so far this season. And then up next, you have Anthony Miller, who definitely needs to step his game up and stop dropping passes. Yeah, that one pass that was thrown to him for Nick Foles was slightly behind him, slightly above. But you're an NFL player, you have to make those type of catches. That's how you survive in the NFL. But so far, he has 34 receptions for 349 yards. He is averaging 10.3 yards per reception, and he has 2 receiving touchdowns. Up next, you have the rookie Darnell Mooney, who is continuously to be does everything that he can for us in his rookie season. He has 33 receptions for 351 yards. He has 10.6 yards per reception. He also has 2 receiving touchdowns as well. Now, all we definitely can do, Bears fans, is hope that Coach Nagy made the right decision and put in Mitchell Trubisky, because the offense has been playing a lot worse since Nick Foles has been the starting quarterback. 24 points with Mitchell Trubisky, 17 points with Nick Foles is making a huge difference right now. Nick got us basically 3 victories. The 1 victory against the Atlanta Falcons, and he got one against the Bucks, and he got one after that. Until ever since then, 5 losses altogether, 4 consecutive. Nick, when it come down to it, Mitchell Trubisky is still 3-0. Yeah, he did get helped out by Nick Foles in that game against Atlanta, but since then, the offense just been constantly dropping down. So hopefully the Bears can get that together and hopefully Coach Nagy make the right decision yet again. And now on to the Bears defense. The main impact player that's going to be for the game is Roquan Smith, who has 96 tackles, 15 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 5 pass deflections. He is the best cover linebacker in the NFL today. He doesn't allow too much of anything. He is a ball hawk. He is everywhere. His name is constantly being called. He's going to have to make an even bigger impact in covering the Green Bay Packers tight ends and running backs that I'll get to later on. But he's going to have to play his heart out in this game and just try to make sure the Bears get that victory. And up next, we have linebacker Khalil Mack, who has 36 tackles, 14 tackles for a loss, 6.5 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 2 forced fumbles, and also an interception. We're going to need Khalil Mack just to be him and constantly get after Aaron Rodgers like he's done in basically every game since he's been a Chicago Bear. Now, I'm not expecting him to have that type of game that he did in his very first game as a Chicago Bear going against the Packers a couple of years ago, but I am expecting him to at least have a sack or 2, get constant pressure on Mack, run him into Akeem Hicks, Robert Quinn, Bio Nichols, whoever that he can, and just help fuel that defensive line and just break down everything that the Packers have coming to the Bears and just break it down completely to a point that they don't have nothing else to offer, and the offense hopefully can get it together and help this defense out, because that's what's mainly been holding this defense back. It's the fact that the offense cannot help the defense out. So hopefully that can improve in this game. Last but not least, we have the strong safety Eddie Jackson, who has 58 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 fumble recovery. He returned that for a touchdown. He has 3 forced fumbles and 2 pass deflections. Now, Eddie Jackson has been lights out for us all season. Of course, we know the story about his interceptions for touchdown being taken away throughout the entire season. We know how great he is, and he is an all-pro strong safety in the league. But we're definitely going to need him to be just basically tuned in, because you have Packers receivers that like to go right downfield and catch deep passes, and Valdez-Scantling, who we'll get to later on in the video, and he's just basically gonna have to accommodate for everything downfield, along with Tayshaun Gibson Sr., Jalen Johnson, and Kyle Fuller. They're all going to have to be in one unit and just make sure they do not allow nothing deep, because Aaron Rodgers is a very good deep passer. He's been killing the Bears with deep passes all his whole career, and the Bears just definitely have to make sure they accommodate for those deep passes, keep everything in front of them, and just get stops that way. And now moving on to the Green Bay Packers, who is 7-3, once again coming off that heartbreaking loss to the Indianapolis Colts. The breakdown starts off with Aaron Rodgers, who is 240 out of 352 passes. He has completed 68% of his passes for 2,889 yards. He has 29 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Now, Aaron Rodgers is a dog no matter what I can say about him. I can talk all the shit about him, all the above, because I just do not like the Packers as a Bears fan. But the man is a beast. He been that since he became a starter in 2009, and he's going to continue to be a beast until he retires. So the Bears definitely going to have to get at his ass, put as much pressure on him as possible, make him not only get out of the pocket, but when he gets out of the pocket, attack him and make him have to throw the ball away and not allow him to find receivers downfield, which he is just absolutely great at, and finding receivers downfield and just throwing deep passes on us basically the entire game. So hopefully the Bears can stop him from doing that. And up next we have running back Aaron Jones, who is carving up defenses all over the league with his rushing and pass catching ability. He has 113 carries for 534 yards. He is averaging 4.7 yards per carry. He has 6 rushing touchdowns and also has 32 receptions for 261 receiving yards. He is averaging 8.2 yards per reception. He has 2 receiving touchdowns as well. Like I said before, Aaron Jones is a dual threat running back. He can pass catch, also rush the football, but you also have to look out for his running mate, Jamal Williams, who also has 81 carries for 336 rushing yards. He is averaging 4.1 yards per carry. He has 1 rushing touchdown, and he also has 27 receptions for 212 yards. He is averaging 7.9 yards per reception, and he also has 1 receiving touchdown as well. Now, these 2 running backs are definitely a great running back combo. Both very fast, both can catch the football coming out of the backfield. You can even line them up at the wide receiver position. So the Bears definitely have a mouthful to deal with, and that's just the running back position. Once you get to the wide receivers, you definitely still got to deal with them as well. You have to deal with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who has 25 receptions for 518 yards. He is averaging 20.7 yards per reception. He has 4 receiving touchdowns, and he also have a long reception of 78 yards this season. So the Bears definitely going to have to look out for him going down the field. He's been doing it all season. A few games that I did catch the Packers play, every time I turned around, it is Valdez-Scantling streaming down the field and catching a deep pass down the field. So he's definitely a deep threat, and the Bears have to account for him right away. And last but not least, for the Green Bay Packers offense, you have Davante Adams, who has 68 receptions for 847 receiving yards. He is averaging 12.5 yards per reception. He has 10 receiving touchdowns. Now, I really do not have to say much about Davante Adams other than he is one of the top receivers in the league. He is a dominator receiver. He can outrun your corner, or he can just literally just jump over the top of him and catch the football. So the Bears definitely going to have to double team him at times if Kyle Fuller and Jalen Johnson cannot basically accommodate for him in the open field and make those open field tackles, because that's definitely going to be a key process in stopping the Green Bay Packers, and that is making open field tackles, not allowing them to break tackles and just constantly stream down the field. And those were the main guys for the Packers that can definitely attack the Bears offensively, but the Bears still have to look out for tight end Robert Tonyan and also wide receiver Alan Lazard, who also has a long reception this season of 72 yards burling down the field. So the Bears still have to look out for him, because he finds ways just to sneak down the field and wind up catching somewhere between a 25 to 45 yard reception almost every game. But he does have a long of 72 yard catch this season, so the Bears definitely going to have to look out for him as well. And now we're moving on to the Green Bay Packer defense. And one of the main guys you're going to have to definitely look out for, and that is free safety Adrian Amos, who has 44 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 3 pass deflections, and also 1 interception. Now, it's not much that I really have to speak for Adrian Amos. He is a constant professional. He is a very good tackler in the open field, very hard-hitting tackler. And he put fear in wide receivers. He did it for the Bears, and now he's doing it for the Green Bay Packers. So the Bears wide receivers are definitely going to have to look out for him, because he can either break up the pass from knocking you out, or he can break up the pass with using his hands. He is a very good cover safety, so the Bears definitely going to have to look out for that as well. And also you have outside linebacker Zadarius Smith, who has 40 tackles, 8 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss. It's not really much more to say about him, other than he is a premier pass rusher. He constantly make plays in the backfield, constantly getting tackles for a loss, getting to the quarterback, getting constant quarterback hits. So with this Bears offensive line, they're going to have to try to get their ball out very quickly. It doesn't matter if it's Mitchell Trubisky or Nick Foles. With this JV offensive line, the Bears definitely going to have to find the ways to get the ball out as quickly as possible, especially with Zadarius Smith coming after him, and other players on the defensive line. Also, they do have a middle linebacker and Chris Barnes, who has 50 tackles, who is leading the team with 50 tackles, 1 sack, and 3 tackles for a loss. He's not really flashy or anything like that, but he will get to the ball a lot, and he will make a lot of open field tackles. It's not a lot of broken tackles that is done to Chris Barnes, so Bears definitely going to have to look out for that as well. And now on to the prediction. And to tell you the truth, I really just do not feel comfortable with the Bears in this game. With everything that's been going down with this season, I don't know if the Bears are going to be able to recover now. I'm hoping that the Bears can win out. I'm pretty sure every Bears fan is hoping that the Bears can win out and finish the season 10-6. But that mostly only happen in Madden, when you controlling it, and whenever you lose in the game, you can easily just start over, and the Bears won't be able to do that. I got the Bears actually losing this game, and it can get real ugly if Nick Foles is in there. So I'm going to give 2 predictions. If Nick Foles is starting, the Bears is going to get their ass whipped, because Nick Foles can't bust a grape, but when a pass rushes at him, he got less mobility than, like I said before, Tom Brady. So that man is going to get killed in there, and the Bears lose this game 24-10. If Mitchell Trubisky plays, then the game will be a lot closer, because he can escape the pass rush, and the Bears win this game. Well, not even win. The Bears get close to winning this game, but Aaron Rodgers pull it out at the end, and the Bears once again lose this game 27-24, and that's because Mitchell Trubisky is in there. But like I said, it is what it is. People might not like my prediction, but that's what I'm predicting. And I'm hoping the Bears actually prove me wrong and win this game. I'm hoping that they do. I'm hoping that the Bears win out, but I just don't see them winning out every game. I got them at least winning 4, but they're not going to turn around just like that and win 6. So that's my prediction. And this is Jonah Pimney with another sports reaction, talking about Chicago Bears take on the Green Bay Packers in Sunday Night Football. All right, people, peace out.